Before we begin, a couple additional housekeeping things. You will see to the right of your screen tabs for Q&A and chat, and those will be used through the sessions to keep people engaged. There's a poll, and please take the opportunity to participate there because we will be giving an engagement prize at the end. I'm Becky Stewart.
Do we qualify for that?
Maybe.
No chance.
Yes. I'm Becky Stewart, the scientific copywriter here at CSols. And as our first CSols Summit is drawing to a close, I want to thank you all for joining us. Over the last 2 days, we've heard about some of the ways the laboratories are positioning themselves for future growth by taking advantage of artificial intelligence, digital laboratory assistance, fair data principles, and the opportunities that the thoughtful adoption of technology presents to laboratories. Now, Kyle McDuffie, the president of CSols, and Bob McDowall of McDowall Consulting will provide some fireside reflection about the ideas of the last 2 days in the context of where the laboratory informatics industry has been, where it is going, and where it might be going in the future. Sorry. Bob McDowall is an analytical chemist with many years of experience in labs. He began as a forensic toxicologist, then worked for 2 international pharmaceutical companies, and has spent several decades as a lab informatics consultant, earning a reputation as an expert in computerized systems validation. Although Bob didn't single-handedly write the book on LIMS, he did in fact edit it. Kyle McDuffie has a similarly distinguished career in laboratory informatics after a start as a bench chemist, and has been the president of CSols for the last 21 years. In that time, CSols has grown to be the premier laboratory informatics consultancy in North America. Under Kyle's leadership, CSols has become recognized as a thought leader in the industry, and currently provides laboratory informatics guidance to Fortune 500 companies. Join me in welcoming both of these experts for what's sure to be a wide-ranging conversation. Thank you.
Thank you for that very nice and extensive introduction, Becky. So I want to just jump right into it, starting out with who are we, right? So you heard what Becky said about us, and I did want to tell one short story about how long Bob McDowall and I have known one another. And I would get it's got to be in the 30-year range, which, but I still have less hair, but my hair is still dark. But I've known Bob for many, many years. And so I think this would be it's a great opportunity for us to discuss what's happened at the beginning of this journey of LIMS, lab automation, now called lots of other things, and what's the future. And that's what we're going to do today. So we've got about 40 minutes set aside for this. In addition, we'll take questions from the audience at the end. But I wanted to start out with just briefly having Bob introduce himself, and I will do the same. So go ahead.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, Becky and Kyle. Yes, we've known each other a long, long time through LIMS conferences and Pittsburgh conferences and the like. I've been working for 50 years as of last week, playing around with toys and everything else. I started working with computer systems in the pharmaceutical industry in 1980. And made a great mess of it, which probably means that Horner's five-thumbed postulate is the major the rule which I should be following. The amount of experience gained is directly proportional to the number of systems ruined. but I like training people. I like writing, and I write the questions of quality column and the focus on quality column in LCGC Europe and spectroscopy. I'm also British with a very bad sense of humor. And I'll leave it over to you, Kyle, to introduce yourself.
Well, thanks, Bob. And so I'm coming in at only 41 years of working in this space. So I'm still nearly 10 years behind you, Bob. But I started out as a chemist on the bench, as Becky said, worked in quality control, R&D, and in those roles became involved in a new thing at that time called LIMS systems. Also was an analytical chemist by training, so I was mainly interested in spectroscopy, but also got involved in lots of other technologies as well. Through the years, seen lots of different things come and go, lots of things that were supposed to transform that didn't, other things that seemed to come out of left field and make major changes in the industry. And what we really want to talk about is spend a few minutes on the past 40 years. So we're going to try and do that quick. For 1980 till the present, we're going to try and do that in about 10 to 12 minutes. We'll talk about the current situation as we currently see it, and then we'll move forward into maybe a bit of a future look, and that's the program for today. I'm wondering if, Becky, you can tell me what the sort of profile of people for the first poll was. Maybe you could share that with Bob and I.
Sure, yes. Let's see. The breakdown of industries that people are in looks like we have slightly more than half in other industries, 1 in chemical, petrochemical, 3 in food.